This has got to be one of the craziest days we've seen for crypto in a very long amount of time. And I'm not talking about that because of all the crazy announcements that have been made. No, announcement-wise, it's been nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. What I am talking about here is just the sheer increase in prices that we've seen over the past few hours. I'm looking at these charts right now, and damn, is it crazy. So just to put things into perspective a little bit, right now things have come down ever so slightly throughout the past few hours here. As right now the best gainer is only Lido, being plus 12%, ENS plus 20 or so. You can see they're going down ever so slightly because, well, the last 2 hours, maybe something like that, have not been too crazy. But before that is when really things were just absolutely popping off. And we can actually see a lot of that reflecting in my bots. If we, for example, take a look at this right here, any single person, I just want you guys to know, any single person who listened to me over the past few days has been making bank. I want you guys to realize that every single person who listened to my thoughts, I guess, and my strategy would be in massive amounts of profit right now. And take a look at this. The XRP bot we opened 3 days ago, we put $50,000 in. It is $17,000 in the plus. The Bitcoin bot we opened 3 days ago, we put $50,000 in, is $11,000 in the plus. And this was all significantly more a little bit ago. The problem is, well, I was actually on a flight. But if we take a look at XRP, for example, we can actually go into detail as well. We can see a bit more about the price performance. We can see that earlier, this is actually at $20.2 thousand worth of profit. We also opened a Cardano and an Ethereum bot who are both doing pretty well, Anyway, the Bitcoin bot, you can see a little bit earlier, it was an even juicier amounts of profit. But that's the thing. These things will fluctuate. That's the whole point. But the more that it fluctuates, ultimately, the more money that we actually make. And I know it might sound a bit confusing to some of y'all, but the thing is, it buys when prices go down. It sells when things go up. So we want this volatility. And a little fun side note. Yesterday, we bought another $20,000 worth of XRP, right? And I was joking about opening another $1 million worth of XRP here. Now, it's kind of funny that pretty quickly afterwards, the XRP price did some pretty crazy shenanigans. You might not look at it or know just from looking at this, but if I quickly refresh, because that is what we were supposed to buy 20,000, or actually we did buy $20,000 worth of XRP, but I wanted to buy a whole lot more, right? Well, if I bought that $1 million worth of XRP just yesterday when I was joking about it, let's just quickly zoom out a little bit. Let's go to the 15-minute chart, and let's go to the 1 hour chart. You'll quickly see that my buys from yesterday were right here at about $2.31. The price actually hit $2.43 per XRP pretty quickly afterwards, leaving my trade here. I think yesterday was minus 50,000 or so. We bought a bit more. Now it's only minus 30,000. The thing is, I still think I should just start adding like a maniac here, but I don't want to do that too much. Partially because the way I'm thinking about it now is I've already got millions of dollars in these positions. We might as well just let them ride out here and see how it goes, because you also don't want to go too crazy really in a market like this where you overexpose yourself, in the best of times. Meaning, I don't want to blast the freaking top. The thing is, that's only talking about these long positions really. When we're talking about the bots, the reason I opened this Ethereum bot even 1 day ago or so at a bad timing when ETH was up 20% was because it does not really matter with this type of strategy. So again, it depends all on strategy. Having said that, in terms of news, there's a lot going on right now. So let's take a little bit of a look, right? So we have ourselves $3 billion worth of Bitcoin in Ethereum options expiring today. I never find this a big deal, but a lot of people do, so I always like to quickly cover it in the video. Apparently, the Swiss president just said that the US and China are holding trade talks in Switzerland. Now, that obviously is a pretty big deal, so, no real question about that. $10 trillion asset manager BlackRock meets with the SEC Crypto Task Force to discuss staking, which is a pretty big deal. I should probably get the light is shimmering a little bit. I don't know why the lighting is not optimal, but hey, sometimes you can't help it. Anyway, they're discussing staking, options, tokenization, and ETF approvals or approval standards, which is interesting to me because that makes me think, are they also going to start talking about coins like XRP, maybe even the Solana and other coins really that still is not as far when it comes to ETFs? Because maybe they just want to make as much money as possible on all these different things, and they need to get it, more properly discussed. Having said that, this was also the craziest day for crypto in another way. Apparently, this was the largest short liquidation event since 2021, with approximately, or at least $800 million worth of shorts liquidated in the past 24 hours. It is expected, though, that the number is even higher. Let's quickly see. Also, the White House, there was an interesting thing. Trump basically said he expects the, well, let's quickly see. I probably saved it somewhere as well. If we scroll down a bit more, did I really not save it anywhere? Probably because I posted it. Let's quickly see if I posted about the 80% from Trump. So yeah, some hours ago, Trump said 80% tariff on China seems right, up to 𝗬𝗏𝘂. And he also said China should open up its market to the USA, would be good for them. Closed markets don't work anymore. But then at the same time, we got a message from Switzerland, like I just said, that China and the US are meeting. But as a counter, China Commerce Minister says China strongly opposes US abuse of reciprocal tariffs. Official statement from the Commerce Ministry, so that's not too good. But anyway, really, I can sit here talking about all the news announcement for days. This remains President Trump's biggest problem. Trump's want lower rates. The Fed isn't cutting. They're announcing trade deals and yields are still rising. I should state, by the way, that before I went for the flight, the news that was going around at that point was that the S&P was practically going down because Trump's new announcements with regards to tariffs on China. But then again, China responded saying they're firmly opposing this abuse. And it's kind of interesting to me that at the same time we're getting new announcements that China's is meeting with Venezuelan president in Moscow, but they're also talking with the U.S. in Switzerland and 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓. In the background, by the way, while all this is happening with tariffs and everything is crazy, we also have 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘, the CEO, who said crypto is going mainstream and the EU has a head start over the U.S. I don't know exactly about that. I just know that the EU could do way better if they wanted to, but they just don't seem to want to play this game. So I don't know what else to tell you about that. And last but not least, I will quickly state that, ladies and gentlemen, I do not want you to get trapped here, all right? If you're using my bot strategy, which again, not financial advice, but every single person who copied along, I've been telling you this for a while, for a few weeks now. Everybody who's been copying along would be in crazy amounts of profit. Just want to quickly put that out there. If you're just going for buying spot, theoretically speaking, you can never really lose, right? So it doesn't really matter. If you're doing leverage, I would say that these are the scarier points to add to your positions because we're getting to really high prices right now, relatively. Then again, from another angle, if you're doing it the way that I'm doing it, where you're just getting yourself an entry and you can always buy lower if the price does go there, I think you're in quite a good spot to not get fully wrecked. And again, if you're looking for where to copy everything, most important bot links will be down below. And there's also a tutorial video where I talked about buying my $500,000 worth of XRP and Bitcoin, which ultimately now turned into what? Let's quickly check it again. Like maybe $30,000 or so worth of profit in just about 3 days. And again, this is all public. Everybody could have copied along. Not everybody has $100,000 to throw at a trade like this. But then again, everything is relative, right? Some person probably threw $1 million at it. Another person probably threw $1,000 at it. It is all relative. All I'm showing is my results, what I'm doing, and it's working like a freaking charm. Again, Ponyx link is down below. And as of this point, I've already stated it, but I'll say it again real quick. Every single person who signs up gets themselves between $30 or $100. And the more you deposit, the more bonuses you can also get. Link for this is down below. And if something crazy happens, I'll be covering it. Today, no stream because it's a bit chaotic. All right, let me just say it like that. It's a bit chaotic. You can see it's chaotic right now, but tomorrow we'll probably be back with another crypto stream if things go right, because the market is so crazy. I think it deserves, a little bit of streaming attention. So perhaps that is coming up. Hope you guys enjoyed this little crypto update, just talking about some of the crazy shenanigans happening in this crypto market. But I wouldn't be surprised to wake up to even crazier things tomorrow. So yeah, if we do, I'll be here covering it though.